Chapter 17. Uncle Wilson waved his drumstick. 2 in a row. Now that's progress. Real progress. When's your next fight? Asked Jeff. In a week, said Alfred, and another one a week before Christmas. You don't tell me nothing anymore, said Aunt Pearl. You worry so much, said Alfred. Now she's got every right to worry, said Aunt Dorothy. Every day I read in the papers about. Can't hold the boy back, said Wilson. Top fighter can make contacts with big people, get opportunities. The room was warm with the 9 of them around the table, and heat still rising from the turkey, the sweet potatoes, the small mountains of stuffing, and green beans. Alfred felt good. Best Thanksgiving ever, he thought. Everybody so easy and pleasant, even Wilson. And Jeff was all right. None of those slick, smart meat college ways he had expected. Lightly, he punched Jeff's arm. You ought to come up to the gym, make a light heavy out of you. I tried it. We had a boxing club in college. You've been boxing? Wilson's drumstick came down in a mound of cranberry sauce. Get your brain scrambled? Waste all that? Wilson! Dorothy pointed at the cranberry stains on his white shirt. The 4 girls giggled through stuffed mouths, and Pearl raised her napkin to cover a smile. I didn't last very long, said Jeff. Be glad to show you a few things, said Alfred. You forget about that, said Wilson, getting up. He stamped into the kitchen. I'd like to be able to handle myself better, said Jeff. For Africa? Asked Alfred. For anything. I hear you talking about Africa? Wilson came back into the dining room, dabbing at his shirt with a damp towel. You got accepted and didn't tell me? I haven't sent in the application. You better get on with it, boy. Even with your qualifications, you can't wait till the last minute. I'm not sure I want to go. Fine with me, said Dorothy. I read how they got some tribes running loose over there and... Thought you had your mind set, said Wilson. I've been thinking, said Jeff. All I really wanted to do was see Africa. Now, if I really want to do something positive, I can do it right here in this country. Didn't bring you up to be no street worker, said Wilson. You got the chance to go on out and... Okay, let's say I go to Africa. Then what? Get a job with a big corporation that hires one guy a year to look good and... Don't you shout at me, Jeff. I know what's best for it. Now you're shouting, Wilson, said Dorothy. That boy just doesn't understand about... Maybe you don't understand, said Jeff. Can we go upstairs? Asked Diane. Please, please, said the twins. Go on, said Dorothy. The girls jumped off their chairs and clattered away. You men, go on inside and behave. No more shouting. Pearl and I gonna clean up the table. We'll call you back for dessert. Wilson wandered away after his pipe, and Alfred and Jeff went into the front room. They sprawled out on the couch. Jeff wasn't quite so big as Alfred remembered. Looks a little like Spoon without the broken nose, he thought. Are you going to turn professional? Said Jeff. Don't know. Do you really like to box? Well, I don't mean to be personal. You're my cousin. If you can't be personal, Alfred shrugged. I suppose you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't like it. I like it all right, especially the running and the workouts. I like the guys at the gym, but sometimes in the ring, I'm not so sure. Wilson came into the front room, puffing out clouds of pipe smoke. How you doing at the store, Alfred? Fine. They're real nice to me. Might be thinking about the supermarkets, more money, good benefits, chance for advancement. I'm not sure I want to work in a store all my life. People always gonna need food, Alfred, said Wilson, pointing his pipe stem. Can't go wrong working in food. Sounds like Jelly Belly, said Alfred. Jelly Belly? Asked Jeff. Friend of mine at the gym. His real name is Horace Marshall Davenport, Jr., but he's so fat, everybody just calls him Jelly Belly. Told me once he worked at Epstein's for free if he could eat at the job. Jeff laughed, but Wilson shook his head. That's the kind of foolishness gets you nowhere. You got to show them you... Come on in, called Dorothy. There was ice cream and cake and milk and coffee on the table. Wilson sat down and watched his pipe go out. Always got to be planning for the future, thinking ahead. Wake up one morning and you find the world passed you by. He looked straight at Jeff. Right, Alfred? Alfred leaned back in his chair. I've been thinking. I'm going to continue my education. Remember what I said about trade schools? Finish up high school at night, said Alfred. You didn't tell me about that, said Aunt Pearl. When did you decide that? Sometime now. Spoon says, more you know, more you want to know. Spoon? Asked Jeff. Alfred's schoolteacher friend, said Aunt Pearl. They finished their dessert quietly and watched Wilson clean and refill his pipe. He lit it and puffed out two quick clouds of smoke. He shook his head. Sometimes I'm not sure I understand this new generation. They got to find their own way, said Aunt Pearl. Same as we did. Times are really changing, said Wilson. Men like you started the changing, said Dorothy. Now it's their turn. Couldn't do it without you, Dad, said Jeff. Maybe so, said Wilson, leaning back. The smoke clouds rose slowly and evenly. Aunt Pearl looked at her watch. We better go. I have to work tomorrow. I'll drive you home, said Jeff. That's real nice, but... No, I'd like to, Aunt Pearl. It would give me a chance to talk with Alfred some more. By the time they dragged the girls from upstairs and thanked each other for the third time, it was past 11 o'clock. Aunt Pearl, Charlene, and the twins piled into the back of Jeff's old Ford and fell asleep almost as soon as the car started moving. Were you serious about finishing high school? Not until I said it tonight. I'm going to try. You've changed a lot, said Jeff. What way? Jeff stared out at the windshield at tiny flakes of snow caught swirling in the glare of the headlights. Well, you always seem so negative. What do you mean? You sort of seem to, if you don't mind my saying so, seem to just drift along. Yeah, sweet old Uncle Alfred. Sorry, Alfred, I didn't hear what you said. I guess I had no ideas about anything, what I wanted to do, anything like that. Didn't seem like any reason to stay in school, and I wasn't doing good. But Spoon says, the teacher? Right, he used to box. He said if you can concentrate on learning to box, you can concentrate on learning anything. Well, that makes sense. You were talking before about doing things in this country instead of Africa. Like what? Well, for one thing, a lot of groups are trying to organize self-help programs in the Black communities. Parents groups, tenants groups, recreation centers for young kids. Very important. White people have always run those centers and they don't always understand the problems. Black children need to look up to Black adults. They're working on that around our neighborhood. You'd be a natural for something like that, said Jeff. You have all that athletic background. You really think so? I'm sure of it. Aunt Pearl stirred and leaned forward. Better turn here, Jeff. He squinted through the frosting windshield and guided the car smoothly to the curb. Here we are. Aunt Pearl and the girls kissed him and sleepily climbed out. Jeff shook Alfred's hand. I'll be back for Christmas. See you then? Sure. Maybe you'll come up to the gym. I'd like that. Take it easy, Jeff. The car pulled away and Alfred pushed the twins toward the stoop. They whimpered in the cold and began to wake up. You two really got on tonight, said Aunt Pearl. I never saw you talk so much, Alfred. They started up the stoop. A shuddering old man crouched alongside the stairs, behind a garbage pail. Poor old wino, thought Alfred. He opened the front door. The huddled figure moved, and Alfred suddenly felt sick. I'll be right up, Aunt Pearl. I dropped something. You'll catch cold, Alfred, she said. The girls started whining, and she herded them inside. Alfred moved carefully down the snow-slick stoop and around the side. The lowered head came up. I've been waiting on you, Alfred. I nearly didn't know you, James. You look so bad. You gotta help me. Come on upstairs with me. I'll get you some... No. The sunken eyes were very bright and feverish. James shivered inside a torn overcoat. Loan me some money. Hot food, James, come on. He grabbed at the overcoat, but James pulled away. I need money. For a fix? That won't do you no good. I'm gonna quit, Alfred, but I need one more, just one more. And after that? Come on, James, come on up. Money. Alfred fumbled in his wallet. He had $6 bills. A claw-like hand snatched them. James, wait, please, But James was weaving down the street, almost running. Alfred watched him until he disappeared around the corner. I should have dragged him up, he thought. What's going to happen to him now?